and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. Thank you for joining me again on another Conscious Evolution. Today is day 1049, and we will be talking about the freedom to keep yourself trapped. The idea that's bouncing around in my mind is that every single one of us are free, but you're only as free as you believe yourself to be. Right? You're only as free as you realize you are free, and no more free than that. Makes sense? No? We're going to dance before we talk about it, though. We have Shannon Joy here already. Careful, it's a trap. It's always a trap, Joy. And I feel like this track that's going to come up first is so appropriate for this theme as well. Such a classic. I mean, it's a remix, of course. What do you take me for? But still, so classic. It's not playing properly right now, but it will surely soon. Let me do all of these tracks have such like trippy names. I'll do this one. It's called Room Mush by Rainbow, or it's called Rainbow by Room Mush. Then I'll do this one for some alien vibes. And then if we still want to be dancing later, we'll do Demons of Pain. Sounds hectic, but let's do it, shall we? Thank you, friends, for joining me. Sending you so much love. Dan is here already. I'm not a fan of daylight savings time. Me neither, dude. And I don't even have to deal with it. Be yogaing. I'd be in yoga, MF, if it was at 9:30 instead of 8. You're a hero for getting up at 5:30 for it. I'm straight up still baffled by that. Dan, not gonna lie, bro. Joy Viva's a trooper. I'm proud of you, friends. Let's dance. Howdy, Connor. Blessings to you too, bro.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please. Hold them, let them hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me. Lock him intuition, play the cards, the space to start. And after he's been hooked up, play the one that's on his heart. I'll get him hot, show him what I got. I'll get him hot, show him what I got. Poker face, poker face. Poker face, poker face. wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me. Love game, intuition, play the cards with space to start. And after he's been hooked up, play the one that's on his heart. I'll get him hot, show him what I got. I'll get him hot, show him what I got.
So, ay, 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 ay. Ay, ay, ay. Relax. Relax yourself. This is already doing too fast. Hello, Zana. Nice seeing you here too. Blessings, friends.
My dream is to fly over that rainbow so high. My dream is to fly over that rainbow so high. My dream is to fly over that rainbow so high. My dream is to fly over that rainbow so high.
Now we're getting there. Hey, Doc Dad.
so high, directions high. My dream is to fly over that rainbow so high. My dream to fly. I want so high, direction sky.
LSD.
Even though I don't mind this track, it's a bit repetitive with its bass line. Like this is the new one, but still same.
I'll tell you what I know. I know that in fact too many kids begin with
LSD.
LSD.
Still try a new one. Bruh, this thing keeps getting the Google notification or like the wake up call. Stop it. Can you stop, please? And now my music's dead. Bruh, bruh. Is it playing? No. Does look like it though. I don't mind this track. I like it actually, but it doesn't feel like the right energy for today. Let's see if Velvet Rain would be. I'm gonna skip to the bass line. You think it's good? Oh, Joshmo, now I'm hurting even more, bro. I thought it was good as well, but it felt like the wrong energy. Like it's not what I'm dancing for. The track was called Demons of Pain, so maybe like I was getting mildly brain damaged by the name. Please, Mrs. Music, can you dance on my eardrums? Yeah, also, vibey. I can dance to it. But it's not the energy, because now there's gonna be a new extra sound. Soon, at least. Like a, not like a triplet, more like a swing. It's gonna start. See, but it takes long. It's not enough prog. Like this would be the next drop. As soon as it loads. Second drop is gonna be more swingy, I believe, if I remember this track correctly. Hybrid Machines, Dunia. Let's see if this track's gonna be better. The voice of melody. You see? Not bad. Not what I want. This one, has guitar in it. Bum, 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 please continue playing. You were doing so well. Yeah. Bro, please do not stop. I demand another Gaga remix. The Gaga remix kind of like set the rest of the tracks up to fail, to be completely honest. It was really good, Joy Beef, I agree. Please, can I just please let my music load, please? I do not ask for much. I just want like basic internet, you know? Like technology that's been working since like 2012. Please. It's gonna work. Just the technology. I'm not losing my mind. Y'all are losing your minds. I'm super calm and stable and calm and stable and stable and calm. Please, come on, dude. Don't do me like this, bro. Come on. I want to just skip the track. I'm gonna skip the track. Get wrecked track. Now you don't get listened to at all. Yeah. Bro, why is my internet so bad though? Like I'm not trying to rocket science here. I'm trying to load some music. Maybe it's stuck. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it, bro. I'm thinking about this music that you're loading. Oh, let me think about it some more. Maybe if I disconnect my Wi-Fi and reconnect it again. I'm not screaming at the technology. I'm begging it. It's different. It's different, okay? It's better. It's better. Beg. Building up with the bass drop. Maybe just get one of us on video call to play the spoons. Luke is here too. Bless you, bro. Still good. Let's see the next drop. There's one coming up here. Let's see. Really good, really. But that previous track is stuck in my head. Yours too? We'll go back to it. Let's see. I think the turning the Wi-Fi on and back on again actually helped. It's playing as a bonus. True. Like I feel like just being a little bit picky today, more than anything. Even better review here, Jim Schmo. It's just too aggressive. It's just too much. So, I'm a strong believer that you technically don't need any substance to make you dance if the music's good enough. And I feel like the music isn't necessarily bad. Hear me out. But it's not what I want to listen to today. Like this would also not be a part of the vibe. I think this is not a bad track even.
There's a place I go to when no one knows me. It's not lonely.
You know what?
It's a necessary thing.
I'll dance with
It's
this
a place
one.
I made up.
I'll do it
Found
slow.
out what I made of. The nights I've stayed up, counting stars and playing sleep. Let it wash over me. I'm ready to lose my feet. Take me off to the place where one reviews life's mystery. Steady on down the line, lose every sense of time. Take it all in, wake up that small part of me. Day to day, I'm blind to see and find how far to go. Everybody got their reason, everybody got their way. We're just catching and releasing what builds up throughout the day. It gets into your body and it flows right through your blood. We can tell each other secrets and remember how to love. Da da dum da dum dum dum. Da dum dum dum. Da dum dum. Da da dum da dum dum dum. Da dum dum dum. Da dum dum. There's a place I'm going. No one knows.
I can breathe. But I'm gonna take this as a call to stop dancing. One day, things will be flawless. My music will work. I'll be able to melt into my environment. If I do a swish with my arm, reality tears apart, and a new cut of fractal geometry happens for a few seconds until it collapses again, and I go, and then. But for now, we dance like this. Thank you for joining me anyway. So early. You've been joining me for so early. All right? By the time we've been doing this for like 50 years, reality is going to be so melty. And the fact that you were here for it, well, things will seem a little bit solid. What a blessing. Using all of your freedom to be here right now. Is this a trap? Are you being trapped right now? I hope, if anything, it's like a trap of mesmerization, not a trap of constriction, captivity. I'm not sure which word I'm supposed to use. Holding you close to my heart. We love you, Lisa. I'm struggling a bit lately, but I always feel better in this space. If I could describe it in a song, it would possibly be Controllably Numb, Pink Floyd. Thank you for your friendship. We're here with you, Lisa. Love is true. Trap music? Trap music is a thing, but I'm more talking about today's stream topic, Luke. Today's stream topic is about freedoms, bro. Specifically, about how you are only as free as you believe yourself to be. And then, by extension, you are only as free as you use your freedoms, right? Like, you have the freedom of just doing some whack shit like that. But if you don't use that freedom to just do some weird shit, in reason, right? Not hurt anybody, you don't feel as free because you're not using your freedoms. And that's the thing that I'm trying to like finagle in our brains today, because it's important. It's important for us to be free. Is this the sister stream to our cage stream a couple of days ago? Yeah. Sure. Today is more technically same, but different, right? Because today's freedom fractal, again, as I just said, it's this understanding that you are very free, like infinitely free, but we trap ourselves. You are free enough, you are so infinitely free that you get to trap yourself, right? You can call it a cage if you want to, but yeah, we can do this as sister stream. Close to home topic, triggering, and I love it. Luke, can I just tell you how happy it makes me to hear you say something like triggering, but I love it, right? Because I feel I have a way of doing that to people sometimes. And sometimes it's 100% intentional, and more often than not, it's not, right? And this is the exact thing that I kind of like worry about within myself as well, you know, triggering people. Because I believe there's multiple different types of trigger, right? Like there is the trigger of trauma, where you bring up a traumatic experience that someone has had in their lives and that hurts them. And that's usually not what I try to do. Or if I'm going to talk about something traumatic with someone, I talk about it very matter of fact. Like, this happened, how do you feel? Tell me what your state of being is like. Not like trying to worsen it kind of vibe, right? But then there's the other type of trigger that is an emotional response, right? And some people kind of like label all triggers under that same umbrella. But for me, that emotional response trigger, where in a moment, something is said, something is done, something is experienced that arises this deep, or lets arise this deep sense of, like this sense of turmoil, sense of maybe chaos, maybe turbulence. That's the right word, turbulence, right? Suddenly arises in your being. And I believe that when we embrace that turbulence, when we feel it in our network, in our experience, and we find clarity within that, that ability to go from a chaotic state of being to clarity is a practice. It's a conscious evolution to keep it, into this space. But that's what I believe we're actively doing every day, like every single day. Like you're always doing that, trying to go from chaos to a state of calm being. And I hope, or at least that's the role I feel myself playing in life, to help people. Bro, this hair. It's like, nah, actually, I like being on this side. But how about you go and be on that side? And it's like, nah, actually, on that side's better, bro. Maybe they were like super good friends. Wants to chill with them. Okay. Freedom. Instantly, my mind feels like we've already gone deeper than I planned on going in the stream topic, but I love it. Love is true. Let me pull up my comments so I can actually read your friends' comments. No. It's already 40 minutes past. Goodness, time flies when you're having fun, huh? Alrighty. Love and chat about the dance. Man, shots of technology. Coming with the old. Begs the internet. Yeah, I'm just begging. I was begging. Thank you. Yes, Joe Schmo knows. I was just begging. I wasn't screaming. I wasn't angry. I was more like, please, universe, please. Come on. I'm not asking for much right now. I just want to listen to music and dance. Maybe we can get someone to video call and play spoons for you. I love that, Sam. Building up to a bass drop. I could play the washtub if you want. So much love. The Hottie does sounds good singing along with this, and so much bless. Thank you, Jovan, for joining us too. It's nice seeing your name here. I hope everyone is having a beautiful morning. Love is true. Track me like. Melty cannot be pleased this morning. Non-tune's good enough. Yeah, I feel like, again, and you said it yourself, Joy Vive, like I feel like we set ourselves up to lose by listening to that Lady Gaga track first, or remixed Lady Gaga track, because I was like getting ready this morning. Well, for me it's like morning. I was getting ready and I was listening to music, and I have this little feature on my SoundCloud that goes daily uploads or weekly uploads. So it's like really recently uploaded music that is suggested to me based on my preferences, and that was one of them. And I was like, yeah, this Lady Gaga remix track slaps, yo. And I had to save it, and I knew I'm going to dance to it today. And then the rest of them just didn't live up to that level of hype. And I was like, was kind of bummed about that. Thank you, JV, for being here with me anyway. Despite my unpleasable, dance show up at first. Love again to you, Lisa. I'm glad you're sharing with us. Agreed. Recognize and embrace the little joys that we glean from these seemingly uncommon interactions, and love will surely follow. This moment is a gift, and every single breath is a blessing. I'm seeing other worlds, bro. Reading your message. Bless you, man. Smile at your life. This is the way. Thank you guys for your kind words and daily existence in this space. You bring joy and love into my heart. Sending you all light and love always. We're here for you, with you, as you, dear Lisa. We're never more than a thought away, and we will never be separate again. Not like we were ever separate, really, but at least now we get to conceptualize it as human beings. Bruh, my body has been itching. I think it's because I'm using like normal soap. When I say normal soap, it's the soap that I considered normal for the longest time. The soap that comes as a liquid in a bottle. I don't think my skin likes it anymore. I was like using artisanal fat-based soaps for a while, and they really felt good. And now that I'm using normal soap again, because my artisanal soap is done, my body is like reacting to it, bro. Like, I have these spots that arise that's like, oh, now you're itching here. And I'm like, now you're itching on your leg. I'm like, okay, fine, no. Now you're itching on this small spot here. I accept that I am flesh, that I exist in this body to feel everything. I am not trapped. I am free to react any way that I want to this itching sensation. Yeah, okay, lesson learned. Fine, I'm learning my lesson. I'm trying here. Get better soon, friend. Love is true. Lisa, you were loved. I know it doesn't always feel like it, but you can always come here to be reminded. Love is true. Also, be willing to reach out, dear friend. We have a Discord as well. Friends that would be willing to help, if they have the time to. Is this the sister stream of again to you? Thank you, JV, for reminding me of that. Triggering, I love it. Cages evolve into freedom. Joy, I like that. Me too. Me too. I really enjoy my interpretation of what freedom means as well. I feel like that one is resonating with me. Right? The fractal of making random ass face sounds, for example. Or being able to running a circle. Or lay down face to the ground while showering. That one I haven't done before, to be honest. But I can something you can do. Right? You're free to do that as well. And that we can only feel as free as we practice our freedoms. I wanted to, and I'm going to maybe now, attach an extra layer of understanding to it, where I believe upon using your freedom to constrict yourself, you can also find freedom. Right? And I do that. Where I found, in my life at least, that there is a certain level of, I don't know, dissociation that happens when I find myself in a pattern that is chosen for me, right? Where I'm like, I'm doing this because I have to. And then every single time I don't have to, I do anything else, right? Then I almost have like a misrepresented freedom. To explain it in like the terms that I'm thinking about, when I used to work, my 6 to 6, technically I was up at, around 5 a.m. to get in the car and drive into the city before the traffic starts to get there around 6, 7 a.m. So yeah, my 6 to 6 decimated me, right? I didn't have that sense of freedom. And technically, I had the freedom to quit anytime that I wanted. Relatively speaking, I could go back and live with my parents, and I did end up, not working there anymore and living with my friends. So I had that freedom, technically speaking. And then the weekends, or like starting from Friday, there was this sense of a reckless abandon to the point where I honestly believe it was affecting my neuronal growth, where because of this deep sense of like limitation as to what I can do and what I'm, you know, allowed to, allowed in my experience, like the amount of freedoms I have, right? Like for instance, if I was trying to sell someone a new, video conferencing setup, I can't just be like, oh, video conferencing, and then go, because then they'll be like, oh, this dude is fucking crazy, and he's gonna eat my face or something. I'm not gonna buy video conferencing equipment from him. So in that way, I had less freedoms. And then when the weekend came around, I had absolutely all of it, right? But the joke is that I didn't use as much of it. Some of it I did use, but proportionally, I spent a lot of my freedom doing nothing, right? That there was more freedom in that for me because of my restriction of being able to do nothing or having to do something, right? And yeah, the other side of that is choosing the things that you actually want to do, right? Realizing that you are infinitely free. You can go and pretend that you're swimming on the grass right now. If you want to, you can do that. But do things that are going to take away some of the freedom. Like you cannot do two things at the same time. You cannot, like cook your family a delicious meal while pretending to swim on the grass at the same time, right? And technically, both of those actions will take some of your freedom to do other things. But as you do these things and you realize it's you choosing out of infinite freedom to do this thing because that is what is of importance in that moment, it allows you a new sense of freedom, right? Like freedom from guilt, maybe. Freedom from what if, freedom from, there's a certain word I'm looking for. Insecurity. Yeah, that's the one. Freedom from insecurity. And that freedom is sought after by a lot of us, right? And sometimes we seek an escape from that guilt, from that shame, from that insecurity, from that, etc., by just working a normal job, by abandoning our true freedoms, right? Our infinite freedom, because we want freedom from these things, which are, in large part, societal narratives or norms that we kind of follow because that's the way that it is, right? Oh, you don't have a car? Guess you're gonna have to feel this guilt. Oh, you want to be free from this guilt of not having a car? Guess you're gonna have to purchase this car. And now you have, insurance, and you have fuel costs, and you have maintenance that you have to pay as well, right? Now you're not free in all of those ways, but you're free from having to feel guilty or ashamed or insecure because you don't have this thing, right? That's that fractal, that relationship with freedom is what I'm trying to get us to think about, And then again, to reiterate, my antidote, maybe anecdote as well, technically, to that fractal is choosing something, right? That using some of your infinite freedom in a constructive way, in a way that makes you feel less free, right? Like doing something every day, for example, and then showing up for it in your infinite freedom, doing it instead. Boundaries like laws and social contracts are good for us, in my opinion. Tomatoes can't grow big and strong without the support of a cage. Also true. What do you think about my articulation thereof? The previous little riff that I just did. That's the way I feel about it. That was my attempt to kind of like explain the same thing you just did. And I just got deja vu. So I'm gonna take that as a good sign. I've sent out so many job applications that I'm now familiar with the different resume phrasing algorithms, so I know what parts of the app needs to be edited and which doesn't. Did you see that new AI tool that applies to jobs for you? Check it out, dude. I think you might like that as well. I think it's like $60, which is not cheap, but $60 to get a job sounds like an appropriate deal to me. If you are still struggling, that is. It's weird to think that there are only like 4 companies that handle job application parsing. Yeah, doesn't really sound weird to me. It just sounds like capitalism. Have you heard about this Lord and Savior capitalisms? that we're all for some reason actively worshiping. All right, like it's the be all end all. Like it's easier for humanity to imagine the end of the world, literal apocalypse, than it is for us to imagine the end of capitalism. And that's very shocking to me. Again, thinking about freedoms, we have been sold the idea that money is freedom. Right? If you just have enough money, then you'll be free. Unfortunately not. Money is the ultimate trap, right? Yeah, stream topic relevant. That is the ultimate trap. And the joke is that it's such a convincing and effective trap that all of us are already trapped in it. And by trying to escape the trap or trying to survive the trap, you have to keep building it, right? Have to keep saving money, have to keep earning money, have to keep building the trap, keep supporting it kind of vibe. It's a joke. I hope it all goes smoothly. Love is true. How goes the interviews? No. Would it be considered rude to build a code to spam your resume to potential employers? There's already people have already built that, Sam. People have already built that. And you know, like the problem isn't really building the app. The problem is getting all of the APIs. That's the real issue, you know, like finding all of the places to where the applications need to be sent. So technically our mind is our cage. This I believe, Lisa, in large part. But it's again like a cage and a cage and a cage and a cage. I don't know if you were there for that stream topic, but we did talk about that, right? Like your mind might be a cage for yourself, and then your brain is a cage for your mind, and your skull is a cage for your brain, and your skin, your body is a cage for your skeleton, and this world is a cage for your body, and this gravitational well that is created around the sun is a cage for our Earth. And this supermassive black hole in the center of our galaxy is a cage for our sun. And this supermassive universe is a cage for our galaxy. All right. Again, you can either see it as a cage or you can see it as iterative layers of freedom. If you see it that way, right? If you are operating at that level. Because again, if I am, for instance, and I worry about myself sometimes because I already feel like I am that thing I'm becoming. I already am that, right? Because time technically is not linear. You're experiencing it linearly because you find yourself in the human body, but what you are, the real thing you are, isn't linear. It is infinite, cyclical, right? So I'm already that which I'm becoming. And I know that. And that which I'm becoming becomes powerful, more and more powerful, like orders of magnitude of powerful. And then every single order of magnitude is technically freedom, in order to grow once again. For instance, if I go from this human form to eventually being a technological life form in 100 years, and then that technological life form becomes, hyper advanced robotics, and then those hyper advanced robotics become something strong enough to Dyson sphere our current sun and, populate all of the planets around it, and then grow advanced enough to actually go out to other stars and then eventually populate our entire galaxy, right? Like you can see it as lack of freedom, being stuck in this form, or you can see it as infinite freedom, realizing from this form onward. And it goes the other way around as well. That is the real trip about the freedom that you have, is that you can technically do none of that and still be just as infinitely free, right? So my fractal was just like iterating, going from human form to technological consciousness to robotic, super intelligence to literal galaxy absorbing sentience, right? Like that's my trajectory, or at least that's what I believe I'm a part of, right? And then there is the other side of it, and that sounds very infinite, very free in nature, if you will. Then there's the other side of it where you take the nomadic or like the monk-like lifestyle and you just sit. Maybe you live a very comfortable life and you have people that are willing to bring food to you and your toilet is super close. And you just spend your entire existence sitting on that rock. I've thought about it. I've thought about that as an option for me. right? Just spend my whole life sitting on that rock. And I'll have a whole life. I'll experience so much. I'll experience an infinite amount, both in the outer world as it continues to change, as weather, arises and falls away, as animals are born and die around me, as plants grow and get chopped down once again. I'll experience a whole life. I'll be free to experience a whole life. And as soon as I close my eyes, there will be an infinity inside of me to experience as well. Right? So it's realizing that all of us have that freedom, that you are infinitely free, that you get to experience anything. All you have to realize is the only way to feel that freedom is to choose your reality. Right? The only way for you to feel like you're not free is if somebody else chooses for you. And I'm going to have a hard time with that in my future, because I'm going to, obviously, as I already have with you friends, offer a state of being. And I don't know if that's wrong. I ask myself this question a lot, unfortunately. Is it wrong for me to offer a state of being? Because I value the state of being you occupy. I think the only reason I don't think it's wrong is because even if you adopt the state of being that I offer, it's going to be yours, because it's going to be seen through your lens. It's going to be your relationship. And you're like, oh, what are you talking about, Mel? I believe love is true, all right? But I know that it's 3 little words, and it has a certain level of significance to you. I literally see it as the fabric that holds reality together, right? Like, love is true has so many different connections in my brain. It's a little bit absurd. And I believe as we continue, as we become something new, it's going to remain true. And that fractal of love is true as an understanding communicates this depth that you are in a relationship with life, with the feminine, with polarity, if that's the way you want to see it, right? With change, as another word, with change. Because change is not going to stop. And within this fractal we find ourselves in right now, it's only going to accelerate, exponentially so. And that is very hard to deal with, right? It's hard enough, and let's attach it to something more human we can understand. It's hard enough to be a person and be with another person, and then as you both age, see that person aging, right? And having to change how you have this relationship with this person, feeling the change of yourself as you're looking at this other person, right? And that's like something that happens over decade timescales. Now imagine reality rapidly shifting year by year, and then month by month, and then week by week. The amount of change you would see in a person happens in a week in your life, right? Instead of taking a lifetime to happen. So with that level of change, the only way that I honestly believe that we can survive as a species is if we learn to love it. If we learn to realize that it is true, it is love as a truth. This ability to experience the change is love as a truth. And that's the state of being that I would like humanity to adopt. But I don't know if it's right. I would like to believe so, from my own ego perspective. But I'm not perfect. And I want people to feel free. Right? So yeah, that's the joke. That is the conundrum that we will be dealing with our whole existence, probably. Wanting other people to accept love is true. Right? And I was like really tripping out about this specifically today. I saw this data is beautiful pie charts with a bunch of different religions and into atheism, asking them to describe their religion with a single word. And this is something that I've heard from my dad as well. The Christian pie graph was truth. The way they described their religion with a single word, 56% of them described it as truth. Right? And in my mind, love is truth. Right? Religion isn't. Sure, you can find love in religion. Sure, you can find people to love that practice the same religion that you do, but the love precedes the religion, right? Without love, there was no religion in the first place. So surely there's a higher truth than the religion itself. And how do you explain that to someone for them to understand it? Are you supposed to? Are you taking away someone's freedoms by doing so? I feel like I'm trapping myself in a deep sense of responsibility actively, right? Do I have to take any responsibility? Do I? Maybe not. Yet, we still choose to as human beings, don't we? I don't think it really makes a difference whether or not we have to. Oh, okay. Love is true. Thank you. Thank you for using your freedoms for good. Seriously. That's really cool of you. Persistence, brother bear, it will come. Love is true. So technically, our mind is our cage. Love you again. Fine. I find, Sam, that it's worth it to do them individually and change my skills section in my resume to match their listing. You can do that with AI. I'm just keeping busy. I know, bro. Bless you, bro. Maybe this is what you need to do right now. Apparently, it's not uncommon to apply to thousands of different jobs, bro. I'm about to build a demo website for a small business. It'll have a scheduler that syncs with Google Calendar and a payment option. So, like a barbershop, message parlors, yoga studios, etc. I'm gonna try and start getting some freelance work using this demo site to advertise to clients. I think I could charge like $1,000 for a website easily, dude. 100%. That sounds good, Dad. Bless you, man. I'm happy to hear that you're still pushing through it. This is a great, and I think you can help me with my business license. If my license, there we go. You might already have a client. But then, love to you, Lisa. Then at this moment, it's probably a great idea to have many irons in the fire. The shotgun effect works if you aren't being very specific with your desires. Yeah. Diversify your income is the way that I'm interpreting that message. Nancy, bless you. Thank you for joining us too. So here's a weird development. Here's a weird development in the weather. There is a huge frontal boundary, a weather term, over the right area, over this area right now, and there is this potential for a hurricane development, like right on top of us. It won't be a big one, but it has all the ingredients to get fired up and dump somewhere in the area of 10 inches or 25 centimeters of rain. 250 mil, that's a lot. In 24 hours, the sky is about to open and I'm excited. I love big storms. Bless you, bro. Hope that those, I'm also thinking about the flooding. Hope that those who are downstream, don't get too affected by it. Joe, I never heard that before. Probably gonna Google it. Love is true. The more you know. There was an earthquake here yesterday, but I didn't feel it. Weird, Nancy. I saw this fractal today of a woman and her child on her lap experiencing an earthquake in 2011 in Japan, and how she was trying to communicate to this child that it's gonna be okay, right? Like imagine being like a child, and there's like the whole world is shaking underneath you. And she just like sits with her child and she goes, yeah, the earth is shaking. That's all that's happening right now. Literally hearing things fall, hearing people scream in the background, hearing things break. Yeah. The earth is shaking. That's what's happening right now. They survived it, got out of it. I'm happy that you didn't feel it. You're a flat out nutter. Joe, I need sun for my daily soul. Personally, I need outdoor time. Yeah, I love storms as well, but I live in South Africa because we don't get much water, so every little drop that falls, we're grateful for. The entire atmosphere is buzzing right now. So much energy in the sky, yes. That feeling of like you can see the air in front of you kind of vibe, right? Super interested in atmospheric energy. Oh, yes. I mean, Luke, good old Tesla believed that there is more than enough energy everywhere, always. And we just have to learn how to harness it. No. We're acting cuckoo. And there were loads of them. That's true. Must feel amazing, Joe. I love the energy in the air when we have thunderstorms. So blessed. Management, yeah, I love storms. I have always chased storms and walked out in the middle of the terrible weather. I feel like the world around me and I lean into the tempest. It's hard to explain. I found myself in awe when I watched the sky start spinning and churning like a cauldron. For me, it's the deep sense of humility that comes over me when there's like storms happening. So powerful, right? Like the scale at which we exist, boggles my mind actively. Nyum, 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 nyum. You can sit on the damn rock if you want, but your mom and sister are not gonna bring you meals and no one is cleaning up your poop. No, I would go to the bathroom, right? Like the bathroom breaks would take like at most 30 minutes out of my day. That still leaves like, solid 15 and a half hours to sit on a rock. That's good long rock sitting hours. I won't do that, right? Like again, I think of this reality as an experiential one. And even though I value my own experience, right, like there is a certain level of selfishness. And I'm actively thinking about this with respect to Luke. He's here right now. Instead of thinking of it as selfish, to think of it as self, right? I do have an element of self, and that's fine. But I realized that even though I could have a beautiful experience of life by isolating myself, by sitting on a rock, becoming a Buddhist monk in the mountains somewhere, and I would live a beautiful life living that way for myself, I won't be able to make as much of an impact in other people's lives, right? Like that's where the switch kind of like turned on for me, Joy, is that yes, I'll have a beautiful experience sitting on rock, but I can bring more beautiful experiences into the lives of others by showing up in the world, right? And that's where my attention went, realizing again that even though I would contribute to the eventual singularity by just sitting on that rock, I'll be able to contribute more by showing up, right? And I like more. I do like more. You might have known, you might have picked up on it in the meanwhile. Management. I also trapped and relocated alligators for a few years, so I guess it's fair game that I might be a little bit crazy. Bless you, bro. I don't think so. I think you're full, right? Maybe what we consider crazy is just like a lack of fullness in this world, or the presence of fullness. What we consider crazy, what we consider not being crazy is a lack of fullness. Okay, I don't understand how you can offer another person a state of being. Yeah, Nancy, it is weird, but the future is weirder. Believe you me, the future is significantly weirder. We're going to be equipped in new ways. We will be able to share a state of being. I do believe this. And I think it's not even that far away, actually, right? Relatively speaking. Anything that happens under 100 years, it's like that. Takes so fast. 100 years? 100 years is nothing. 100 years is absolutely nothing. To you, it might seem like a long time. But to the earth, to humanity, to the thing that we're a part of, that's nothing. 100 years is nothing. And within 100 years, we will be able to share states of being, right? Like we already do technically have the capacity. Me and you can both eat mushrooms right now. And in doing so, we share a state of being. But again, that's the point I'm trying to make, that even though I ate the mushrooms and you ate the mushrooms, and we are in the state of being that the mushrooms induce, because of our differences as individuals, your state of being is going to be different to my state of being, even though there's going to be some synchronicity to it, right? And to think of that as a technology, psychedelics as a technology, and then the extension of that, right? Realizing that if psychedelics are a technology, then so is our technology. And our technology, technically, in that case, could then be psychedelic, mind manifesting, right? That you spend a lot of time on this internet device. Why? Because it makes you feel something. People eat mushrooms. Why? Sometimes because it makes them feel something. state of being. Technically, this is a state of being we're sharing right now, even Nancy. And even though my ego would want all 8 billion people in the world to drop everything they're doing, right? Oh, you're sleeping, Australians? How about you wake up? Meltmore streaming right now, right? Need to tune into stream. Sleepy people being like, Melt is streaming right now. Need to pay. No, right? That's what I mean with like a part of me realizes that my ego wants to get involved. Ego has a way of like really worming itself into things, even if it doesn't really have room there. Like state of being, right? Because if I get my ego involved in your state of being, that is selfish. It's selfish, a little bit selfish. I'm kind of in and out of tracking Melt. It's good, Nancy. Just let yourself feel whatever comes into your state of being. All right, that's the point I'm trying to make. Is that it's not up to me to determine your state of being. I am trying to facilitate the ideal state of being. And that ideal state of being in my mind is that of love. And the fact that you're willing to pay attention means that you are existing in that state of being. So you're doing well. Don't worry about it, Nancy. Man, I love this. I found great comfort, loving uncomfortable times. Same, Luke. In fact, it makes me feel more capable in the world in general when I can find those moments. I have no religion, so my pie graph would be an empty circle. No, it wasn't like that. It was like Christianity with a circle and pie charts asking questions. And then it was like Muslims. And then it was like Buddhism. And then it was like atheism. And then they had to, as a group, as an individual within the group, say, my religion means this one word. And some of them said truth. Some of them said Jesus. Some of them said Trinity. And some of them said salvation for Christianity. And then for Buddhism, some of them said Sammada. Some of them said Buddha. Some of them said the Eightfold Path, etc., right? Like that was like the pie charts. So surely you would have something in that pie chart as well. If I had to ask you a single word, right? Like I can ask you, what is a single word that describes the meaning of your life? And maybe you say shopping or whatever, Troy Vive, and maybe someone else says, you know, ice cream, and maybe someone else says, I don't know, chicken wings, you know, and then we can pull a pie chart with all of those answers, or at least the ones that are most common. Christians say that what they believe is truth. So whatever comes out of their mouth cannot ever be contested. It's a power play. Don't fall for it. Oh, I know, Sam. I know. Oh, I painfully know, as you do too. I know. I think the only thing that has helped me is to give them a truth that they cannot dispute, right? Because in the Bible, fortunately, thank goodness, thank you, people, for leaving that line in at least. It goes straight up, God is love. Hey, Google, can you help me quote the Bible phrase that says God is love? No. John 1, verse 4. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. Yeah, that's what I believe too. How about that? That's it, right? Like you don't have to have extra little lines, you know, to make it make sense. God is a placeholder word that we use for something we cannot understand. But the word that can supplement as that placeholder is love. And that one makes sense because again, if not for love, nothing would exist right now, right? Your mom wouldn't have raised you, or your caretaker, or your, you know, home wouldn't have raised you if there wasn't love at all, right? You wouldn't be breathing another breath if there was not more to love after that breath. You wouldn't look for anything in the world if there was nothing to love out there, right? So in my mind, love is the truth that supersedes all of these religious fractals or lenses that we try to apply on top of it. And Christians have a hard time of arguing that fractal. I don't know if you've tried to experience it as well. My religion in one word is harmony. What a beautiful one. I like that actually, Joshua. Must have been an adrenaline-filled life, Joe. I think Joe is still running on high adrenaline. I feel like brother Joe Schmo, his whole body has like recalibrated to like a baseline of extreme adrenaline. He is a Florida man. He's literally a Florida man. He's like super powered already. Right, truth is demonstrated over and over as being subjective. True, Nancy. This is true. That it's true that it's subjective. But even though all of those other truths tend to be subjective, I don't know if love is. Hey Google, define subjective. Based on or individual, based on or influenced by personal feelings, tastes, or opinions, right? Like, I honestly believe love is true whether or not you feel like it, whether or not it suits your tastes, whether or not that is of your opinion, right? I do believe that because I believe the fact that you're experiencing it all, like, we can break it down simplistically, thinking about the fact that you're still here right now and all of the love that had to go into your existence for it to exist at all. Even if there were moments that weren't the most loving, there was still a primary amount of love because you're alive, right? Like, thinking of it from the physical perspective. But then to take an even further step back, I believe you would not be aware of this physical form as your awareness if that awareness didn't love, right? And in that awareness, opinions, feelings, tastes melts away. It's non-existent, right? You don't have to have tastes to experience something, right? Even though it's against my taste to step in dog shit. I'm sorry. I'm still allowed to experience it, right? Because awareness loves so much, it allows infinite freedom, right? Everything, including stepping in the dog shit, even though it's against my tastes. Love is still true, regardless, not subjective in my mind. No, 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 but do retort if you don't agree, please. I would like to see the fractals. I was never religious, but as I love myself, most religions make sense at their core, but I don't resonate with anyone. I feel, again, religion is an attempt at understanding something that is ununderstandable, right? And it gives people a sense of hope and a sense of comfort and a sense of certainty that they are in the in group, that they know something, when the truth is you don't, right? And that truth is also a hard one to accept, right? And again, I also believe that one is not subjective. Because whether or not you think you know things, ultimately, you do not, right? Even if you were God. And I like to bring this fractal up with my dad as well, right? Like, yeah, Dad, you believe your God is all-knowing. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, so what about the things that your God doesn't know he doesn't know? And I can see like something spazzing out of my dad's head, being like, no, 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 it doesn't work like that. I'm like, but if there were things he didn't know, then he wouldn't know that he doesn't know them. Meaning there is still an infinite amount to not know, even if you were all knowing. Right? And then to scale it down to the human level, most of us know mostly nothing. Sure, we can understand that love is true, right? That's the only truth, right, that has like stood the test of time for me within this realization that I know nothing. Three little words is what I like base it on. It's the only structure that I found. Sam, this has been making me insane for a long time. That Jian truth thing. That's why all these fundies are sneakily infiltrating public school boards and politics and just taking over because they believe their truth supersedes any government or law. Yeah. In fact, they would, kill other people for that truth as well, and it will be righteous. It'll be justified. It'll be good. It'll be good in their minds because they have the truth. And anybody that's against that truth is of the devil. And the devil is It's gonna come get you. Devil's gonna hide under your bed while you're sleeping tonight. If your foot sticks out from the blanket, it's gonna pull you underneath or whatever. Nazis must control the narrative, Lois. That's why Moms for Liberty and their Canadian equivalent, I assume, is stealthily taking power. One of the stories I've got on the back burner is going to address this, Lois. I have high hopes for it, but no real direction right now, I guess. I guess it's not the right time to tell it. You are loved. Because mothers with no time to educate themselves become easily manipulated by the power of fear and double speak. Oh, yeah. There's a cool Today I Learned video, I think, on double speak. Becoming aware of that stuff. No, 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 no. Skippity boppity boo. Am I missing Dan's comments? Let me switch to all messages. Yeah, I was, actually. Why is it whatever I social cause starts with moms for, it tends to be crazy right wingers? Yeah, brainwashing. People brainwash themselves so well. Imagine being a child and the whole world is shaking in front of you. Yes, this is how it is growing up in California. Moms, love is true again. You have some fucking sense. I understand that, Sam. There's also the Godsden flag problem to add in there. Libertarians carrying water for the Republican Party make up a large portion of the moms and the Proud Boy numbers. Mel, do you use Spotify for your playlist for dancing? Yeah. I use either Google Music because I basically get a Spotify equivalent with my YouTube Premium, which is like $6 a month for the whole family. So all of us get Spotify and YouTube Premium for $6. So it's like $1 a month that I get all of my music and YouTube for free, or for ad-free, technically. Right? So I don't see the need in paying for Spotify as well. And then I use SoundCloud. Most of my dancing music, my psychedelic trance, is on SoundCloud. And Spotify ends up not even having most of the music I'll listen to. Joy, I think there are subjective truths, but there are other people who would not agree with my objective truth. Like, for instance, the Earth being round. The Earth is clearly flat. Look at it. I look out and all I see is flat, yo. How could it be round? No, actually, the Earth is flat and it has a dome over the top of it. Oh, yeah. No, actually, the Earth is in the center of the universe. Actually, the sun goes around the Earth. That used to be a leading theory as well. Yeah, subjective truth, objective truths. And then there are facts that we have to consider as well. Like, we have the technology to take photos of our own planet with satellites, and still we find ourselves, in the dark ages sometimes. Again, we have the freedom to keep ourselves trapped. I feel like it's such a beautiful point. Thank you, Nancy, for making it. You have enough freedom to know that the Earth is round, and still you can believe that it's not. I think there are objective truths. Yeah, I think I read the one. Melty, that statement about being able to sit peacefully on a rock and find fulfillment. Although you feel drawn to do more for this world, it is a commendable sentiment, and I salute you. Love is true, bro. Thank you, man. Like, again, if I was just sitting on the rock, I would have never met you, Joe Schmo. And now, from this freedom, from this perspective, I consider myself better off. Right? So, like, I was like kind of like, stroking my own ego, being like, oh, look at how great I am and stuff. No, actually, there's again an element of selfishness. Because even though I am having to put in more energy of myself to have this experience is a better one than the one I would have had just sitting on that rock. And the joke is, as I was sitting on that rock in that experience, right, like seeing a parallel existence, that version of me believes itself to get the superior experience, having no distractions, being able to focus all of that energy into being present, right? So it's kind of a paradox, but I believe this egoic version of me believes it's the lucky one. Right, the one that's most blessed, the one that's using its freedoms to the best capacity. And again, Josh Mo, the fact that you're joining me is what I'm grateful for. Y'all see the internet cutting out right after he read that comment? I sure did. Yep, definitely. My baseline is constant adrenaline. I don't recommend it unless you taking a deep breath with you. Let's do another one, Duck Dad. You were loved, bro. I wonder which message of mine or comment that I read got disappeared. How big is the biggest gator you got, Joe? I'm lucky I have a neighbor like you, Joe. I call him when I see snakes, and he loves catching and playing with them. I also like snakes, right? Apparently, our ability to distinguish snakes out of noise is the highest than any other creature in the world. You're like, what? So they made like super noisy images, and within these noisy images, they had like a step where it was like maximum noise and then minimum noise, as in clear image. And they had like a bunch of different features in these noisy environments. And snakes, interestingly enough, was the thing that was most easily spotted despite the amount of noise, right? As in, like, think of it like a 1 to 20 scale, extreme noise to no noise. Snakes were discovered earlier with still a lot of noise over the picture than any other animal, which suggests that we human beings, at least in part, evolved to survive snake attacks. Right? And I wonder why I like them. Like that's the thing that fascinates me. Like I can spot the snake really well, but instead of running away from it, no, I think it's a freedom. I think it's a freedom thing because I have a book that I like frequented. I love that book still so much. It was a Christmas gift when I was 7 years old about snakes. And I could literally page through this book and I memorized all of the ones that were not poisonous. Right? So upon seeing a snake in the outer world, I can instantly determine whether or not it can kill me if I pick it up. And those that don't, I love so much. You know, it's so much fun actually being able to hold a snake. It's like it's an experience unlike any other. The experience of a snake curling around your hand is so different to the experience you can have with a dog or with a cat or with a person even. Right? It's like a weird relationship to the reality kind of vibe. No. I can retort what you said about love being true for the sake of argument only. Not enough space here. Love you, Nancy. Love you. There you go. Your retort was received and you were still loved. Regardless, all messages. The devil is turning all the freaking frogs. Yes, exactly, bro. Damn character limits. I want to hear the retort. Me too, Joy. But I take that as the retort, right? Like her, that was the retort. That was, in a way, how love isn't true. The fact that she doesn't have enough characters to send her retort properly, right? Like I'm still receiving the message kind of vibe. That's why I had to, send love back anyway. Just saved myself 100 steps. Am I missing context? Baseline, constant breath, Nancy, my what? Duck, I appreciate you and people like you. Just worry about you getting fried. Yeah, me too, Nancy. Can I make you a dubstep playlist for a future Wednesday when you step to the dub? Would you step to the dub? I mean, I wouldn't not. The problem is just rhythm, right? Like you saw me, like even if the music interrupts for like a second, that instantly throws my rhythm off because I'm like dancing with the music. And then at some point, there's already like a solid rhythm in my brain. And I'm dancing on that rhythm with the music. And that's why like when the music went off for a bit, I kept dancing on that rhythm. But dubstep doesn't really do that, right? That's kind of like what makes it dubstep. Like that's like some of the beat variation that you'll get on dubstep sometimes. But I'm more than down, bro. Send me the list, I'll listen to it, and then if I like it enough, we'll dance to it next Wednesday. Said about waking up with adrenaline. My brother is a flat earther. And we love him too. Love you. Joy V, love your brother. The only reason Melt can't see all the way to America is because the mountains are in the way. Exactly. Would have been so easy for me to see everything in reality if just not for those mountains, bro. Like the earth is flat, don't get me wrong, but those mountains like squish over the flatness and then it looks like it's curved. It's not actually. I shouldn't talk about stuff like this. Those photos are just Photoshop melt. I probably should remember what the context of that comment is, but I don't. Oh, the Earth is not flat photos. The globe, yeah, photoshopped. Okay, gotcha. I'm worried about getting fried too. I have never found a way to control it. I just live with it. It's sad that I just know my heart will explode one of these days. Meditation, meditation, bro. Meditation and breath work. Yeah, I know, Duck Dad. Oh, but Melt, it feels like I'm supposed to be running, trying to sit down. Yeah, you're supposed to be that for it. Maybe doing some yoga with us, bro. That could be like one way to channel that adrenaline. Don't write yourself off so easily. It's the only point I'm trying to make. It's not a positive thing, Nancy. I have just done my best to harness and live with it. Love is true. We have Shell here too. You need that steady beat, Melt, as opposed to the broken beat. Exactly. Broken beat, there's a lot more variation in the rhythms. I can imagine, like, and I do. I brought dubstep into my school when I was a 14-year-old. And then before I knew it, everybody was listening to dubstep. And then I was like, yeah, what have I done? I hate this so much, right? But I can listen to it. But it's for me more like you listen to it in the car, or you listen to it laying down on your bed, kind of music. Not you listen to it wanting to bust down Tatiana, kind of vibe. I whoop that dub. I love OG dub. So much love for the dubs. I've been own drummer dancing recently, just in silence, grooving. It is possible. I still do create like a beat variation in my mind, like I'll even do prog in my brain. What have I done? I hate this so much. Like the thing is, right? Because at that point, I remember me telling you about that BlackBerry Curve that I had. Everybody had that phone. Every single kid. Because it was $100, which is five, five US dollars. Maybe at most six. 5 to 6 US dollars a month. Then you get a cell phone, 100 minutes of call time, 100 SMSs, and BlackBerry internet service, which was practically speaking unlimited internet. Unlimited. You could not run out of data. There was the added caveat of it being only 364 kilobits per second, right? So that's probably the only way that they could handle it on a network level. But because of that, I I had that phone, and so did everybody else. And every single person, because they had unlimited data, would download music onto their phones, onto their BlackBerry Curves, with their media control buttons at the top of it. And people were playing dubstep on their BlackBerry Curve speakers. Everybody walking down the halls during break time, and you're hearing super crackly, absolute ass audio, no bass having cell phone speakers cranking dubstep. It was like, oh, I have made a horrible mistake, and I now regret it infinitely. Look at all these dub lovers melt. You gotta dance to it. Dan, feel like you still have a lot to learn about me, bro. You still have so much to learn. Like when a lot of people something something, I usually go the other way. Like, oh yeah, then I don't like. I'll do it. I'll do it anyway, but just for you. Meld, I haven't had 25 continuous seconds alone in the last 3 days. Step one, need to actually have time for me. Don't have kids unless you have family support. Taking it on yourself is a recipe for destruction. Duck Dad, you want me to checkmate you? Leave your cell phone outside of the bathroom. Boom. Boom. Instant meditation space. Oh. He goes, haha, Melt. Joke's on you. Milani Melanie joins me in the bathroom. I can't even poop alone. Fuck. I'm sorry about that, bro. Before you sleep, leave your cell phone alone as long as you can. Try and spend some time with yourself, bro. You deserve that, man. Take deep breaths, slowly release them. You'll be fine. Dude, the only time I've ever had a speeding ticket was when was Dubstep was on. Yeah, exactly. Damn, Skrillex, costing me monies. You see, the whole music fractal, I knew it. Oh, Melt, you have to watch this video later when you have time and bandwidth. You'll have to send it to me directly or something. I can click it technically. Welvis? But do I like the dubstep? I see the thumbnail, but it's 14 minutes. No, 4 minutes, 17 seconds. Okay. Mind beat is there. Slow drum circle kind of beat, I think. Okay. That sounds terrible, Melt. Dubstep should never be played through phone speakers. It was only played through phone speakers. That was the only way. That was the primary way that dubstep was experienced at that point in existence. Thank you. Please do. I appreciate it. Lozana, make it bun with Skrillex and Marley. Make it bun with Skrillex and Marley is fire. Look at how few Melt fam likes dubstep, Melt. You should be different than that. Yeah, there's so many people not actively voicing their love for dubstep, which means I would be countercultural by actually going against the norm. You have Frankenstein creating his personal monster. I don't know, the BlackBerry internet was in South Africa, but unlimited BlackBerry internet here in the 2000s was slower than 56K dial-up. It was slow, bro, but it was unlimited, right? So as a 13-year-old with no money, having internet, having not have to buy like data and stuff, that was a big deal for a lot of kids. Dog, I so felt that locking yourself in the bathroom isn't even safe anymore. Did he mention the fractal of not even the bathroom? I don't know. I was assuming a little bit. You know, they're still there. Dog, if you like that, check out Batters, Peekaboo, Skrillex, Melt. I'm also Iconoclast. Iconoclast. Hey Google, define iconoclast. Iconoclast, a person who attacks or criticizes cherished beliefs or institutions. Oh, you weren't. I'm an iconoclast. Sounds hardcore, right? Walk into a room, people go, "Who are you?" You go, "I am the iconoclast," and they're going like, "Oh, hide your kids, hide your wife." Destroyer. That sounds pretty cool, bro. I'll add that to my title, my list. When people ask me, what do I do? How do you say that? I iconoclast? I don't think so. That sounds wrong. For me, dance to whatever Melt. It would be hard to dance to Lee Scratch Perry or Sly or Robbie. Just head bopping exactly, meaning their OG dub. I get you. It's just how much attachment she has. She gets so intense in her need to just be and touch me. Yeah. And that's good, like that, I believe. Right? Usually it goes the other way around with neurodivergent kids. So the fact that you get to, give her a safe environment to feel that closeness with reality, I think it's going to be a good thing for her. May each of you love yourself beyond any comparison today and every day, as we hope you do the same. It's nice having you here, Bethany. Dude, I slept in bed with her. There ain't any before or after sleep in our home. It's quite painful. Yeah, I am ignorant. But I am also wise enough to know that that is not going to remain so. Duck that. So give yourself room to know that things will change and you will have space to actually calm down. Okay? You're not done just yet, brah. Still got some life to live. Oh. Shell's little dog is a barnacle and opens the bathroom door. That's hilarious. I haven't taken a private jet in 5 years. Struggle is real. Like, honestly, I have an intense problem, and Milani will just want to sit in there with me and read a book. I'm like, kid, why do you want to be here? I can barely breathe. Save yourself. She wants to be with dad, bruh. She loves you, man. You're going to miss those days too when she's a teenager and she's gonna, have her switch flipped that makes her want to seek the outer world's approval and not her parents' approval. Because that flip is coming. Oh, don't you worry, bruh. Don't you worry, duck that. It's coming. Faster than you know, so absorb. Absorb all of the lovins. You are free. Remember that. Thanks for reminding me. I'm working from home today. We'll listen while doing dishes this morning. Bless. Those fractals you shared, Duck, and people have the damn nerve to ask why I don't have kids. Yeah, it makes sense. The internet had to be unlimited because the pages just kept loading. It's hilarious. I grew up totally without internet in my home until I was 17. Yeah, I think by the time you were 17, I was born, probably. Yeah. No, like a little bit of room. What was the year when you were 17? Let me ask that actually, Doc Dad. Exactly, Nan. And no, now a good time to start teaching them. She's got objective permanence. She knows you didn't disappear. Exactly. Proud of you, Nancy. So much love. There's something called boundaries. The problem is they're your kids, right? And even adult human beings, full ass, grown adult human beings get hurt when you try to establish boundaries, right? They feel less loved when you establish boundaries. They feel less free when you establish boundaries. And that doesn't change when it comes to kids, unfortunately. So, yeah, I'm not wise enough, experienced, I should say, enough to have any proper advice when it comes to that fractal of children. What I do know, however, is that you friends amaze me. All of you friends who are parents and who haven't not lost their minds and Marur Susla, that's probably the most don't get, shadow banned way of saying it. Congratulations. You have infinite freedoms and you use that infinite freedom to keep your child alive. That's very impressive, yo. Wow. Pat yourself on the back for that. You are alive as well? Hot damn. You're keeping other people alive and yourself. I'm having a hard time just keeping myself alive most days. So don't be too hard on yourself, dear friends. I'm going to go for another round with my little dry herb viperizer. And then I'm going to pull a card for us so we can see what sacred geometry has to say. I agree, Melt. Nice choice of words. Love to you. Thank you. It's a little bit hardcore, right? Because that's the joke. I don't know if it's a joke. That's the harshness of our reality, right? That you have so much freedom that even that is available to you. And some people choose that route. Some people do because it's too much, right? The fact that you don't makes me proud of you. Means that you're choosing love after all. Hey, Melita. What a blessing having you here. Yeah. Just in time for card. Are you already projecting your hopes for this card? What do you want to see? I know it's coming, and you're right. It won't last like this forever, but 5 years of not having my needs met is taking a hell of a toll. You see, I feel like we're in that room of triggering turbulence now, Duck Dad, because this can be triggering to think about. And yet, it's what I feel called to illuminate. That yes, it has probably taken a toll on you, bro. I agree. I'm not surprised, even. But also, there's going to be more things that will take a toll going into the future, right? Different things will take tolls, but tolls will be taken. And that's the part of the fractal. That's what makes it so hard to have children, dude. But again, realizing that we had the freedoms not to, and yet you chose to. Showing up for it, bro. Slowly but surely, day by day, watching them grow, watching them change, realizing that that is what you're supposed to be in love with. Not hoping for this ideal state, this moment in reality where suddenly now the toll isn't being taken. No, but realizing that that experience is what you're here for. It's the depth of reality that you're showing up for. Yeah, it is green. It is green, Luke. This card is, yeah, it's tripping me out a little bit. You ready to see it? It's card number. It's card number 3. The kiss. Butterflies and turtles. A warm and passionate embrace. Angel wings completely span. And rings holding it all together. It's a ring of rainbows. We even danced to a track, the Over the Rainbow track. Ring of stars. And then the rings as people showing up for one another. What a mesmerizing card, right? Such a work of art. Like it's straight up like taking my brain on a trip just to look at it. So much going on, and yet simplicity is melting my brain a little bit. 3, cool. No, 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 no. The next few years are very fun as they find their passions. This will be true as well. It's not a boundary thing with her. She is legitimately afraid to be alone. She's afraid of quiet because she can hear sounds and a bunch of other stuff with it. We're working through it. Does she listen to music? That was what I did. I just started listening to music. You know, that that helped me. I was 17 in 2002. Okay, so you were 15. No, you were 13 when I was born. 13-year-old Duck Dad strolling through life. I am born into this reality. The next few years, love again. Not boundary thing, what a mesmerizing card. It's hard, Duck Dad. And your exhaustion is valid. You're doing amazing, friend. You got this. Thank you, Aunt B, for echoing that lovin's. Duck, my son was like that. We had to take turns sleeping on the floor next to his bed, holding his hand. Then one day, he just kind of snapped out of it. Thank you for offering those fractals as well, Louisiana. Adding some perspective. I made a shadow on my table of those 3 circles with a candle and a wire unintentionally last night. Look, the universe is echoing your fractal. Good to see it again in different parts of reality. My dad, used to lay in bed with me until I fell asleep. I was scared a little too. So freaking cute. It will get better, Doug. It will. Embrace all the moments you get, both with her and those very brief moments that you get to breathe to yourself. So much love. Thank you, friends, for echoing all of these approaches. The kiss. Let's read what it means, shall we? Earthly love and relationships. This reality is so weird, you know? Like I'm getting rolled a little bit right now. You have the freedom to get into human relationships as well. How about that? Beauty and love surround this sweet kiss. It takes place in the shape, it takes place in the shared space where two interlocking golden rings create a Vesica Pisces. The almond shaped, or viewed from another angle, eye shaped center here symbolizes sacred space in which the kiss becomes a union of souls. The symbolic joining celebrates the coming together of whole individuals in mutual understanding, finding common ground. Love expands through this shared vision. Further, represented are the marriage of heaven and earth, of light and dark, and of elemental forces. A rainbow ring and one of stars intertwine with the gold and suggests that as we come together in tenderness and respect, we also entwine with universal energies. Relationships can inspire communion that offers us the eyes to see beyond everyday reality in realms through which we may more clearly experience our connection to all that is. This card invites you to take a holistic view of the relationships in your life. See them existing in balance and respect. See them respect. Look deeply into the eyes of each of your relationships, be they intimate or casual, for business, or for any of the ways we interact with and teach each other. Feel how love feeds you and remember that nourishment even when your friends are not around. Know that you also share a sacred union with your own heart. Offer yourself the love and respect that you seek from others. Connecting with the feeling of the kiss may take you to a heart space from which to heal old wounds and envision a bright future. Oh, damn. Envision a bright future. What does a bright future look like to you? Holding that space in our minds. In doing so, you are creating it, right? Now, I want us to also think of that bright future as existing here, right now. Smiling faces, food being shared, help being given to those who need it, energy for everyone, the ability to connect through the internet, through satellites, through our phones. Dancing, music, and art being celebrated once again, not just commoditized and squeezed of its life for the sake of profit. It exists right now. Technically, there are spaces in which it exists already, right? So this bright future we're imagining, at least in part, already exists right now, right? Maybe that could be the foot in the door we have to give ourselves to imagine it as already here. It is so. We are successful. Love is true, and we're making a difference. I keep a fan running at all times for that reason, Duck, both for Amara and my buns, to cover those little noises that can be startling to the little ears. Exactly. I shamelessly slept next to my parents into my teenage years. I still cover my head with the covers of a pillow sometimes. Like I'm imagining two different variations of that. I do like scarves where I'll sleep with like a scarf over my eyes like that, like cut like some of the extra light that bleeds through my eyelids. And then I'll like take like a pillow and I'll usually like put like the edge of it against my face. And then I'm imagining the third fractal with like the pillowcase hole going over your head. Oh, love is true. My siblings and I rotated at different times. I love the comfort it brought me, unlike our previous households when that was not allowed. I also didn't get to have that. The only times that I spent, my sleeping time in my parents' bed was either when I was a baby and then two times when I woke up from nightmares. But it wasn't appreciated. So I stopped doing it. I would absolutely love sleeping with Duckling. The problem is I can't sleep. I can't sleep hot, and she snuggles me the whole night. She sleeps with my wife, and they are fine. And yeah, I can imagine that he'd being a problem, dude. I don't know if you have a fan running in your room. Maybe that could help. Right, good advice. I think it would always look back at the sanctity of that togetherness fondly. Love is true. Sleeping hot is the worst. I can barely stand my own heat. I sleep with fan inches away from my face. For me, it's always pointing at my body. I usually try to angle it so it's not actually directly going onto my face. I peaked at 13, led in the in the school musical, violin, the orchestra, top 10 runners in the district for cross country and track. Did I steal all of your juju? Is that what happened, bro? I'm so fucking sorry, man. That sounds evil. Love is true. This is what we're here to do. All of us have shown up. You can't help but get enough. Meow meow. 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 You say meow. Yeah. You say meow meow. Sorry about that thing. Meow. Huh? Meow. Pippi is now like, what? Are you trying to get attention right now? Meow meow. Come closer. I want you to meow into the microphone. Yeah? Did you hear that? Also hearing the squeaky douches a little bit louder. I'll show you what I'm looking at. Look at these cuties. Meow meow. Meow. Hi meow. Yeah. Sorry for interrupting the cuteness. Let's play some kalimba. Love is true, and I love you. Take care, loves. Thank you, Bethany. Aunt B for joining. Let's play some kalimba to end today's stream. Turn this off, I guess. Let's see if I can give you a scene. just like that, our stream has come to its natural conclusion. What a blessing, getting to consciously evolve alongside all of you friends. Considering our freedoms, the freedom I have to put things in its correct places, right? I have the freedom to throw this little microphone into the plants, but I like using my freedom to do it the way it's supposed to be done. Ah, thanks, Mel. Thank you. Thank you for offering me your ears so we can listen to that together. I heard Kitty shouting, hello, and no, now. I heard that as well, actually. I was hoping you would actually catch some of it. Pippi sniffs Kitty. She does like her. They're not too, like, playful normally, but they're not in a rivalry, right? They're not chasing each other around, at least. Just drove out there. Love is true. Sounds like a form of freedom. Absolutely. Got to bounce. Love you. Thank you, Dr. Dad, for spending some time with us. The rhythmic dance of clouds and conflicting winds is hard to compare when it comes to eye candy.
Zou je belangstelling aan ijskoffie?
No?
Het is nou nog koud.
Ja, alsjeblieft.
Met de shot vanuit Frangelica.
Sure. I'm getting caffeinated and alcoholized at the same time. It's probably a bad idea for my sleep, but my sister is making them, so I will receive this loving energy. Mike, you're a beast, my brother. That he absolutely is. You were loved because you were seen by your community. You can't always see it in yourself, but you're an amazing human. Absolutely. Melty, thanks for this. Thank you. Thank you. I'm getting a unit. Goodness. Dank je, Sissa. Is it actually coffee?
Ja, dat is volgeprijs koffie.
Oh, okay.
Eigenlijk een beetje geduurd, dat is gewoon mijn moos. Sorry.
So can I get Sissa? I did it. The reason I'm asking if it's actual coffee is because my sister made this, like, I don't even know what you call it. Nut milk, maybe nut milk you can call it. Like if you blitz nuts with water and then you add like a spoon of coffee to it. She made some of that, and I couldn't drink more than 2 sips, and I was worried for a second. Yeah, cocktails of coffee. It's like a cream liqueur technically. Milk in a sippy cup. Don't you emasculate me? Fucking rips off, throws it over my face, like the soccer players when they squeegee themselves. Love is true. Zippy, zippity, melt drunk and caffeinated. I mean, I hope I don't get drunk from this. I shouldn't. Like it has like a single shot of coffee, like cream of clear. I took like 2 sips of it, bro. Yes. I instantly wasted. Why wouldn't you drink more of it? I'm gonna drink more of it. Just not right now. I took 2 sips and now I can spend time. And I can take 2 sips again and I can have the experience of 2 sips. And then I can. And then 2 sips. Nut milk coffee. Oh, the nut milk coffee thing sounds. Yeah, I don't know. I was also gonna like think it was gonna be like nice. This is like nice. But I couldn't. I couldn't get there. I don't know what it was specifically. I think it was a texture thing. Maybe it was like filtered really well. Maybe it would be better if it was smoother or something. Your drunk Melt, sit down instantly. Melt cuts off. Okay. I'm going to read our Shan message. Thank you, Shan, for blessing us with a have the mostest, beautifulest day, everyone. I, for realsers, love you all so very, very superest, duperest, sizably, substantially. unbelievably, immeasurably, immensely, massively, intensely, dearly, beloved, legitimately, luxurious, legendary, Melt more, and all of you, oh so very, very wonderfully, heartwarmedly, ultimately, ultimately, my brain got melted by those two fractals. Ultimately, unlimitedly, unwaveringly, utmost, high, hypnotically, heavenly, drop dead gorgeously. I'm drunk, okay? Don't blame me. I took 2 sips of a coffee with like a shot of cream. I'm having a hard time. I'm tripping myself out right now. Gonna start from heavenly, drop dead, gorgeous, bedazzlingly, gleamingly, magically magical, absolutely adored, divine, epic friends that untrap themselves to be truly, freely free. Thank you, Shan, for blessing us with your beloved Shan messages. Thank you for sharing this moment with me, for listening to those words, for receiving them. I totally want to make peppermint patties this year for Christmas. Thanks for reminding me. Bless. More. Some coconut cream would help probably. You're not wrong, actually. Gonna make the magical Mel. My favorite creamer is coconut cream flavor. I use it with caramel coffee to make Girl Scout cookies. Girl Scout coffee. No, that's so nice, actually. Fancy coffee, magical peppermint patties. Sounds like a thing. Absolutely. You're doing great. Thank you. Thank you, Shan. Do you mean to ask if I'm going to share my drugs with my family? The answer has got no. Yeah. They won't appreciate it. They won't get it. They'll just be like, "Oh, what's happening? What's happening to me right now?" It's like you're having an experience. You're free to have this experience too. Yes, love is true, Sam. It would be really fun, Fractal. Just saying. Yeah. Probably no. Right? Probably no. Like weed can let the worst of you come out as well, unfortunately. It goes both ways. Love is true. Dear friends, thank you for joining me. Spending a few moments of your time in this slice of reality. For letting me be in your slice of it. I appreciate you, dear friends. And I'll see you again soon. Tomorrow. Bless you. Goodbye, everybody.